Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to have the post-match review between Mallorca and FC Barcelona. So in this game we did end up winning against Mallorca 4-0 and this is our first win since March. After 90 days we finally get to play again and we have won 4-0. So we really did win in a very fashionable way. And so I'm first going to start with what our lineup did look like, and in the second part we're going to talk about the first half, and then in the third part we are going to talk about the second half, and lastly I'm going to give my thoughts about the overall feeling about this match and how Barcelona did perform overall as a collective. And so starting with the lineup, when we did see the lineup, it says here that we had Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Piqué, Sergio Busquets, Messi, Griezmann, Jordi Alba, Martin Braithwaite, Sergi Roberto, De Jong, Vidal, and Araujo. So it was the normal starting 11, but we did have two surprising starters, and that was Araujo and Martin Braithwaite. But the one that was really surprising was Araujo, and it was understandable why he was starting in that match, because we knew that Umtiti has just came back from an injury, and even though it looked like he was doing well, Setien did not want to risk him. He did not want to put him immediately after he supposedly recovered his knee injury or whatever was going on with his calf. Setien knew that if he were to put him in, it was going to make the situation worse, and so he did trust a youngster named Araujo, and I'm so glad to see that. I am glad to see that Setien is putting trust on young players like Araujo. And as for Braithwaite, I'm glad to see him in the starting 11. I was surprised because I really did think that we were going to see either Ansu Fati or Griezmann play that left wing position, but no, it was Martin Braithwaite, and I was super excited. So with the first half performance, we did use our fullbacks and we utilized them very well. They timed their runs, and there were times where Messi did have multiple options to pass it to when he was in the final third, and Sergi Roberto and Jordi Alba were available for him. So I do really want to applaud Alba and Sergi Roberto for putting on a great first half performance. And then moving on to the midfield, our midfield was Vidal, Busquets, and De Jong. One of the standout performances from that midfield was Arturo Vidal. In this match, Vidal was absolutely everywhere in the field. He was defending, he was attacking, he was being involved in almost all of the attacks, and because of his great athleticism, it really paid off for him, and it paid off early. And Vidal was the man to score the goal within the first 3 minutes of the match. Moving on to the front line, we had Messi play as our right wing, Griezmann was the striker, and Martin Braithwaite was on the left wing position. And so when we did see that front three, we were like, okay, Messi is going to be cutting in from the right, Griezmann is going to play that number 9 role, and Martin Braithwaite is going to use his pace and really boss that left side of the field. But that wasn't the case. What ended up happening was, yes, Messi was shifting to the left and trying to create, but we also did see Martin Braithwaite actually shift his position more into a center role. And if we look at the heat map here, we can see that yes, he was on the left wing position, but most of the times he did touch that center side of the field. And with Martin Braithwaite moving in this way, I saw two things. One was that because of Martin Braithwaite's movement to the center, it really pulled defenders and played them out of position. And the second thing that I did see play out, because of his movement, because of Martin Braithwaite's shift to the center, it allowed Jordi Alba to move up the pitch and receive the ball and then look for the pass in the center of the box. And that is exactly how the second goal played out. If you look at the second goal, we can see that Alba tried to center the ball into the center of the box. It did deflect from a player from Mallorca, but then Barcelona regained control, and then they centered it again, and Martin Braithwaite was in the center like we talked about and in position to score that goal. And so it was brilliant movement from Martin Braithwaite. On the ball, he was decent, but off the ball, in terms of movement, he was brilliant. And I want to talk about Antoine Griezmann for a second, because we all expected for Griezmann to play that center role and really be that number 9, and I actually believe for a second that Griezmann was going to deliver. He was going to play extremely well as a number 9 and really build chemistry with Lionel Messi, De Jong, Busquets, and Arturo Vidal, but that wasn't the case. If we look throughout the first half, Griezmann continues to look lost, and that Messi and Griezmann partnership just wasn't playing out. It's like they don't have chemistry. And even though Antoine Griezmann did not truly play that number 9 role, he did provide other things, like he did pressure well, he pressured the defenders well, he defended well. But then again, when you are assigned to play that number 9, you are expected to build well with Lionel Messi, Braithwaite, and score goals. But Griezmann couldn't do either of those things. But look, overall, as a collective, Barcelona played extremely well in the first half. We were dominant in the first half. We did end up having 71% possession, and we were 2 goals up within the first half, and we were missing that number 9 throughout that first half. But then again, Barcelona worked as a collective. Every player in Barcelona went to the box together and really worked as a team to really get those 2 goals. And I'm happy to see that from FC Barcelona. Now moving on to the second half of this game, and Barcelona did do 2 switches within the first 12 minutes. It was Rakitic coming in for Arturo Vidal and Luis Suarez coming in for Griezmann. And let me tell you guys this, when these substitutions did happen, this is where Barcelona completely looked like a different team, because when Suarez took that number 9 role, Barcelona looked much more lethal. They looked more dangerous in the box going forward, and you just know that Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi were going to build something in that box. And Barcelona simply just moved a lot faster than they did in the first half, and so we did see great improvement when Suarez was on the field. And so why did we see such a shift in tempo in the second half? And it's mainly because Suarez was the striker, which allowed Messi to drop deeper, receive the ball, and really look for those key passes. And in result, Messi became much more effective and he created more, which is why we saw Barcelona as a whole look like a completely different team. And if we look at the heat map for Lionel Messi, we can see that he was the most effective outside the box. And the Lionel Messi that we saw in the first half compared to the second half, Messi played completely different roles. In the first half, we did see Messi try to take on more players. He did try to dribble more because he knew that the only way for him to get in that box was for him to take on the defenders. But in the second half, knowing that Lionel Messi, he had Luis Suarez in that box, Messi became more of a creator and did not take on as many players as he needed to. He knew that he could work well with Luis Suarez. And in result, with Messi dropping deeper, that is how we scored the third goal. We did see Jordi Alba get on the score sheet. Messi did drop deep. He did look for the pass. He passed it to Jordi Alba, and Jordi Alba finished that play and scored his goal. And I'm so happy to see Alba finally score and take part of the score sheet, because Jordi Alba has had a very tough season. He hasn't been the same since Anfield, and to see Alba score today in this match was very relieving to see. And then going into the 93rd minutes, we did see Messi score his goal, which was basically a solo goal but was assisted by Luis Suarez. And with that goal and his 2 assists that he gave to Alba and Martin Braithwaite, Messi became the man of the match for tonight's game, and we did end up winning 4-0. I also do want to point out about the substitutions that did happen after the Rakitic and Luis Suarez switch. So we also switched Sergio Roberto for Nelson Semedo. We also switched out Sergio Busquets for Arthur Melo, and we also switched out Frankie de Jong for Junior Firpo. And all of the substitutes that did come in, they all played extremely well. I did have doubts to see that many substitutions happen in this game because I was worried that the tempo was going to get ruined, because when you do tend to put many players on the field, you tend to have a completely different team, and in result, the tempo is going to get ruined. But that did not happen. That was also not the case. Every sub was greatly utilized, and it did not slow the game down, which is why we saw the 4-0 win. So here's the thing. Overall, this was a very entertaining match. There were individual moments where some of these players did look a little bit sluggish, but as a collective, throughout the whole 90 minutes, Barcelona did not look sluggish. They played extremely well, and it did not seem like Barcelona were out from the game for 3 months. Barcelona played well. They look like they have been playing for a very long time. And so I really do want to give special recognition to Piqué, Setien, and Eder Sarabia, because they did take an important role on how Barcelona played against Mallorca. They prepared the players well. They trained them well, and I hope that it does pay off later for them in this season. And so with Barcelona winning against Mallorca 4-0, we had Vidal, Martin Braithwaite, Alba, and Messi all participate on the score sheet. They all play in completely different positions, which means that everyone in this team took part. I am happy from this performance. We also ended up having 65% possession of this match. We created the most chances. We had the most big chances, and overall, Barcelona simply looked dominant. And this was a great way to start off and restart the season. And we do have a few words coming from Jordi Alba, Martin Braithwaite, and Quique Setien after the match, and we are going to start with Alba. And he said, "I have had 3 major injuries this season. This break on a personal level has clearly benefited me because I needed physical and mental rest. I am feeling very well, which is what matters the most." And I'm very glad to hear that from Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba did look like he was worn out. He did not look confident throughout this season, and to see him say this, I'm happy for him. I hope that he continues to play in this way. Then moving on to Martin Braithwaite, he said, "We are happy and we have to continue like this. It was amazing to score my first goal, and I am very happy." And I'm also very happy to see Martin Braithwaite continue to progress progress and become a better player for FC Barcelona. And what I really like the most about Martin Braithwaite is when he scored that goal, he did not want to celebrate because simply he just did not want to get comfortable. He continued to look down and say, look, I can't get high off my own supply. I need to continue to focus. It is not the time to celebrate. We still have 70 more minutes to play. And I love that attitude from Martin Braithwaite. I hope that multiple players in FC Barcelona do see this and take this as a great example so the players can really know just how to focus and to never let your guard down. Then moving on to Piqué Setien, he said, there are many games, there will be players who will rotate less, but practically at will. I have quality in the squad, and so that these rotations are not noticed. We will try to keep everyone focused and ready to play. It was important to manage it well. We want all players to be fresh at the beginning of the game. And so I'm glad that Piqué Setien did prepare these players well and really give a good performance against Mallorca. But regardless of that, regardless of how well Barcelona played, that Setien still has a lot of work to do. Meaning, I really want Piqué Setien to really find the positions and roles for some of these players in FC Barcelona, because it was not all sunshine and rainbows. We did see some flaws in the team, and I specifically want to talk about De Jong and Griezmann. Like, yes, have they contributed something to the team? They have. They played very, very decent, but it can still be enhanced. We know the capabilities of De Jong. We saw how he played in his previous club, and we also know the quality that Griezmann has. De Jong, Griezmann, Piqué Setien, they all need to work together to really refine their roles. And it will be up to Piqué Setien to really solidify the role for a lot of these players. But then again, overall, it was a great match. And so that is it for today's Barcelona post-match review. There were a lot of key points that I did miss out, but I do want you guys to point them out. What did I miss? What did you see that attracted you the most? Who else did you see have a standout performance? Who else did you see not have a standout performance? And most importantly, what did you learn from this match? So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome to the channel. We do post-match reviews, pre-match previews, transfer news, anything to do with FC Barcelona, we do it here. So again, I want to welcome you guys and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.